What's up and welcome to the channel. We are in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada at the Las Vegas Convention Center for the SEMA show. We're going to bring you a bunch of interviews with some special guests, so let's check it out. All right, I'm here with Jason and Charles from Gas Monkey Garage. Now, you guys just got a Katech engine for a project that you're working on in the shop. Tell us about that, what you can so far.
Well, the project is very, very unique, and you guys' engine's amazing. So I think you'll really love what we did with it, how we put it into the vehicle. We can't tell you it's a 59 F100, but that's all we can tell you.
And the paint scheme on this truck is going to kind of blow people's minds because it's not your typical style of paint job normally that comes out of our building, and the fact that kind of had to do a little bit of a different take on the way your guys' motor looks, but we complemented it well, and it's still a Katech motor underneath there.
Oh yeah, we bragged a lot on it. It's a very impressive motor, and like Charles said, at first we were like, the color scheme, but as the truck came together, it was amazing. I think it really shows what your engines, what our vehicles can look like, and it's really exciting.
What were some of the challenges of putting the truck together and getting the engine in the truck?
You know, actually, the way we had the chassis designed, it went in pretty smoothly. It was more about getting our scheme, how we wanted to clean up the engine bay, make it really super smooth, and the paint scheme mixed together. And we had an idea that it would work really well, but actually seeing it together, I was really impressed.
With our chassis and body combination, the motor actually sits a little bit farther back, so we had to do a little bit of work on the firewall to get it to wrap around the engine accent. What we did is we actually made it look like an older style, like it was a distributor in the back of the motor. So we mounted all the coils behind, so all you see is all the plug wires running to it. So visually, when you open up the hood, that has Katech engine with an old school.
Absolutely.
Cool. And what about the support you got from Katech? How did that work out?
Oh, I mean, you guys, it was like simple. You sent us the motor, you said anything we needed, and you guys did everything. We actually messed up a couple of parts on the motor when we were in our fabrication process, and you guys sent us copies of those without charge. We hope we didn't scare you too badly. We had a moment of, we were out of town a little bit, and the fabricators got a little crazy, but all in all, turned out fabulous. You guys, customer service, I mean, every time we call you guys, you're right on the ball.
Somebody's on the other end of the phone. That's
yes,
the biggest
you got to tech on the line saying, okay, this is what you need, get it to us, and that's very important for what we do because we only have 4 or 5 weeks to build the car vehicle. We can't be waiting on things like that. So, customer service is awesome. You guys are awesome out here hanging out with us at SEMA. It's the way it should be.
All right, so we don't know the air date yet, but it's going to be sometime in the season, the second half of this season, right?
It'll be in the spring.
It'll probably be, I would say, February,
March. Yeah.
Okay.
But tune in, because when you see that thing in there, you're going to appreciate the way that motor looks in there. And just the fact that it's all internally Katech, man.
And moving forward, you know, hopefully we'll put a lot more Katech motors.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good
plans.
We've got a little something that we want you to help us out with.
Yeah, I think you're going to like that a lot.
Maybe with that O and the T in it.
Yeah.
All right, Fast and Loud, Mondays at 9 o'clock in Discovery. Get you some of that. Thanks, guys.
You bet, man. Thank you.
I'm here with Matt, the moderator, DeAndrea, and we're at SEMA just talking about cars and Katech. We're about to do a quick little interview for CarCast.
Check it out at CarCastShow.com.
All right, I'm here with Robb Holland. He's got this Pikes Peak Hill Climb Z06 powered by Katech. Robb, tell us about what you went through to build this car out of a salvage Z06.
Yeah, well, dude, you were right there with me, so thanks for all the support. But man, it was crazy. We have a front-wheel drive record for Pikes Peak. We sold that car 90 days before the start of Pikes Peak, and I'd already signed sponsorship deals to run the hill, so I needed to find something. So we're scouring the internet, trying to figure out like what car is going to be really, really easy car to convert to something that's going to be competitive. And I found this salvage Z06, and we basically said, okay, we've got 75 days. We got to strip it, cage it, and increase the performance of the car. So I had my guys over at NRG Motorsports that did all the work for it. And then I made my call to Katech because I knew you guys were going to give me the power that I needed. You know, I've obviously seen your stuff at World Challenge and all of the different forms of motorsport, and I'm always chasing you guys down. So I figured, all right, these are the guys I want to go to get this car converted. And then working with you guys to get the E85 system in, which I think is one of the first systems you had out there. We were able to get it installed, get all the fuel flow issues right, and then create a car that had 850 horsepower, 900 foot-pounds of torque. Made it to the start line at Pikes Peak, and the car is now the fastest Corvette ever uphill.
So how'd you get into this? Give us a little bit of your racing background.
Yeah, you got like 2 hours. Started off, God, like 15 years ago. did some Skip Barber stuff just because I love doing it, and then got an opportunity to get a works drive with Dodge, developing their SRT4 touring car back in the early days of World Challenge. Went through them, had a lot of success with them, got their first manufacturer's points, first podium, and then later on became a works driver for Volvo when they were doing their touring car program, and then left for Europe. I did some British touring car. I'm the first American to do British touring car since Steve McQueen and Dan Gurney, so that's a bit of an honor. And then I'm the first American ever to race in the World Touring Car Championships, which is an FIA World Championships equal to Formula One and the World Rally. And I also have a workshop, a race shop at the Nürburgring. And I've spent the past 5-6 years over at the Nürburgring racing in the VLN Endurance Series and the 24-hour race at the Nürburgring. We finished in the top 10 in the qualifying race, and I've won probably almost a dozen VLN races. So I've got a very good history over there. And then we came to Pikes Peak a few years back, where I ran an Audi TT, the same one that we were actually running over in Germany, and we set the front-wheel drive record for Pikes Peak. And then we built this car for last year, and that brings us up to date.
All right, so tell us what happened the day out of Pikes Peak with this car.
Oh, dude, it almost killed me, man. It was one of those things. My guys are great, but at the end of the day, we went through tech, and we had a few issues with tech, and the biggest one we had was that they made us change the steering wheel. We were running a stock steering wheel, and we thought that would be fine, but the rules say that you have to have a removable steering wheel. So the day before Pikes Peak, we had to go in and remove all the wiring, remove the steering wheel, cut the steering column, weld another steering column on, adapt a motorsport wheel, adapt all of the paddle shift stuff so I could still shift the car, and barely got the car to Pikes Peak at 5 o'clock the next morning. One issue we ran into is in doing all of that, we somehow lost the ability to completely turn off traction control 100%. So I had to fight with that all the way through the weekend into the race.
So how'd you finish?
Finished 4th in class and the fastest Corvette ever. The car was a beast. I mean, that's all I can say. It's all power. It's massive amounts of torque. At the start, we heat the Pirelli P0 slicks in blankets, and we get them to about 200 degrees, is right where they start to get really, really sticky. And even with all of that on the start, I still spun the wheels in the first 3 gears. So the power was amazing.
Too much Katech power.
There's too much, yeah, there's too much. There is no such thing as too much Katech power. No, it was great. And once the car settled down, it was just a drivable car. And to be honest, we didn't have the handling worked out really well because we hadn't had much testing. So 90% of what got me up the hill was Katech power.
Man, you got some massive aero on this car. Tell us about, did you make this stuff
We
yourself?
have all
What
of
did
the
you do?
aero. We just had like aero. Generally, we got an APR wing on the back, which is a dual element wing, which just puts out massive amounts of downforce. So that was an easy bolt on. We knew we were going to get. On the front of the car, we went with a 10-inch splitter, which is kind of the biggest splitter that I've ever used in motorsports. We had the guys at 3R Racing build it. They're the guys who run all the works programs for Dodge and for Porsche when I was driving for them. And we needed a car that would just give me as much downforce as possible, because at 10,000 feet, there's no air up there to create any sort of downforce. So you put the big splitter on, you put the big wing on, and just create as much downforce as possible, and it worked pretty well.
Cool, and especially at altitudes, right? How does that play into the downforce?
Well, obviously, the higher you go, the less you have, and that's why you just end up with this, it's what we call dirty aero. It's just more, you don't really care about the drag because, there's really not a lot of drag up there because there's not a lot of air. But the really interesting story is that when we finally had a chance to test it at lower altitude, it's still 6,000 feet, we were creating enough downforce on that front splitter that at 165 miles an hour, the splitter was actually on the ground. We were dragging it on the ground because it was just so much downforce. So you figure that's half the weight of the car. So you're looking at putting out probably a better part of 1,500 pounds of downforce.
That's crazy.
So absolutely nuts, but it worked pretty well.
So what's next for this car?
We're working on that right now. We're trying to figure out what we're doing for next year. There's a good chance I think we're going to switch from this to a Camaro. The one issue we were struggling with was a little bit of cooling issues. And I just think it's the front end of the Corvette just doesn't have enough space in it. So I think we're going to end up going to a Camaro and hopefully increasing the horsepower a bit. We'll be calling you for that.
All right.
And if we're doing that, obviously we're creating more heat, so we need to get I think a bit better cooling and a bit bigger window for that.
Cool. Robb Holland, thank you so much.
Dude, thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate all
Go
the
out
help
there
this
and
year.
kill it.
I will, absolutely, guys. Thank you.
I'm here with Rob Ferretti, aka Rob Spaghetti, YouTuber,
And Rob, you were telling me about an event that's coming up, doing some road racing. What's that all about?
January we're doing an event. It's starting in Atlanta, making its way down to Miami. It's going to be a big deal, and you'll see it, you'll hear about it, you'll follow people, you'll hate people, you'll disagree with people. It's very, very fun. We just did one here in Vegas when my car caught fire. Put it out, cleaned it up. It's going to be entered again in January. We're going to have tuners and we're going to have YouTubers, both on the same tracks at the same time, putting down in their modified cars the fastest times that they can. We're going to vet and find the fastest car that we can from the tuners, which should be pretty badass. And we're going to find the fastest car we can from the YouTubers. We're shipping both of those cars to Germany to drive the Nürburgring. And that would be pretty exciting because you don't have anything like that where you see cars like this. You see the Nürburgring times, the manufacturers. You don't see it with like cool cars that literally you register a car in Florida, it's got headlights, you're good to go. It's cool to see what that would do in Germany on the range.
So tell us more, what happened to your Corvette? It caught fire?
So it caught fire. The twofold. Let's get this out of the way. I won. Fastest lap, fastest average laps, and fire. So it's the equivalent of like running a marathon, winning, and then collapsing after the finish line. So it's cool, but it's good to find the shortcomings as to, okay, that's got to be upgraded, this should be moved. Poor design on the coolant overflow tank was part of the problem. Shot when it did overheat, shot coolant on the header, little fire, big mess, clean up. But now my engine is as clean as it's ever been, and I'm happy.
You got a little steam cleaning there?
It did get a steam cleaning, and I didn't have to do it, and they did it for free, which is the best thing ever.
Now, you're telling me you've known about Katech for many years.
Yep.
Tell us how you got into knowing about Katech back in the day.
Corvette guy, you guys were dropping the engine in the C5R. So, I mean, right there, the C5R was the ultimate Corvette at the time, and you guys were smoking it. They were 3 or 4 winning seasons in a row. It was the team to beat. So.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Rob, thank you so much for
no
stopping by.
problem.
Appreciate it.
You got it.
Well, we're back in the shop in Michigan. That about wraps it up for our SEMA episode. I want to thank everybody for all the interviews, Chad and all the guys at Gas Monkey, Jason, Charles, Tony. You guys rock. That was a great time in Vegas, and we're looking forward to more with you guys soon. Rob Ferretti, Robb Holland, thank you so much for everything, and we hope to see you guys soon. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys later.